Hello all you beautiful people, how you doing today? This is Lava Temptress and welcome back to my channel. Or if you're new here, welcome, hi! Today we're going over more immersive engineering, and today we're going to get a little bit more detailed stuff, like automating things, making the reinforced blast furnace, which allows you to do automation and some more cool stuff. We're going to go over the barrels and improved windmills. So let's get started first on some recipes. So first of all, we're going to need tough fabric. And for that, we're going to need the industrial hemp, 8 of those surrounding a treated stick. And then we're going to need 6 of those to make a windmill sail. Now, the windmill sails, you're going to want 1 for each of the windmills. But here's what we're going to do. Once we have those made, you're not even going to take it off the windmill. You're just going to take it over here and you're going to click on it and see how it added that little blade. So each time you click on one, it adds 1 more and makes it faster and faster. It'll do the 4 first, and then it'll do the other 4. Now you could have it just like this. And as you can see, it's already going faster than the one without the sails on it. But then if you add the other 4, so you would want 8 of these total for each windmill. Now you can see how much faster it is going versus the windmill that has nothing else on it. Now this is just in regular, like we don't even have any kind of storm or anything going on, because storms and that make it produce more power, but this is just in a regular situation. So look how much faster it is going than the regular windmill. So this is something you're going to want to do as soon as you can in order to improve your windmill power. Now, if you missed the other ones, the very first video, we went over the blast furnace and alloy kiln and all that. The second video, we went into the introduction of power and the hemp and all that. And so this one, we're doing a little bit more advanced immersive engineering. But look at this. Look how much faster that is. Well, once we get higher power, of course, we're going to want higher wires. So, oh, and next of all, we're going to do an engineer's toolbox because this is kind of cool. And I'll show you why. So for this, you're going to use 3 aluminum plates. Again, just take the ingots and smash it with the hammer. And that'll give you the plate, 1 per ingot. And 2 red dye and a wooden storage crate. So it's going to give us this engineer's toolbox. And if you open it up, you can see you hold specific things. So it's not like a regular storage container, but it holds specific things in specific areas. So if I shift click, that'll go into the tools area because that is one of my tools. Now then there's wiring, so all these wires and connectors that we have would go into this area, and then down here is our anything slot. So anything that we want to carry, like for instance this bucket, my manual, anything else we wanted to put in there, then we could. And again, that'll add extra just extra storage for us. So you could use something like this, and because I'm in creative, it just disappeared it all. But you can use something like that, or you could use the storage crates that I went over last time. Okay, so next we're going to want to make some MV wire connectors, or medium voltage. That's what the MV stands for. Last time we went over LV, which is low voltage. So these are higher. You can get more power running through them. So we're going to want these as we develop more power, of course. So 3 electrum ingots, 4 terracotta. Each recipe makes 4 wire connectors. And then for the relays, because remember, a connector only connects to one source, a relay will connect to multiples. So for that, you're going to need 2 electrum ingots and 2 terracottas, and that will give us 8 wire relays. Then we're going to need some electrum plates, and again, you're just going to smash the ingot with your hammer. I'm going to take that. And then to turn it into the wire, you're going to take the plate and cut it with the engineer's wire cutters. we're going to take that too. And again, we went all over the making those in the first tutorial, so if you missed that, go back and watch that one. All right, next we're going to want some MV, medium voltage wire coils. So for that, we're going to use 4 of the Electrum wires with a treated stick in the middle. Then for the coil block, we're going to take 8 of those wire coils with an iron ingot in the middle. That will then be used with 5 iron ingots, a low voltage wire connector, and a medium voltage wire connector to make a transformer, and I'll show you what we're going to do with that. But we're also going to want medium voltage capacitors. Obviously, this is going to hold more. Again, if you missed the first, the capacitors are like batteries. They store power from the sources that it's pulling the power from. So for that, we're going to need 3 iron ingots, 2 electrum ingots, a lead ingot, a block of redstone, and 2 treated wood planks for each one of these little capacitors that you want to make. Next, we want reinforced storage crate. Now this is going to be almost identical to those storage crates, and you can still pick them up with their inventory and everything in them, but these are pretty cool because, well, they're blast resistant. So if a creeper comes up, if you're near TNT and the TNT blows up, these will not go anywhere. You will not lose anything from your inventory, nothing. Whereas the other ones, you do have a chance to lose some of it. So for this, you're going to use 5 treated wood planks, 2 iron rods, which I forgot to put those out, but those are just 2 iron ingots together, and each recipe makes 4, and 2 iron plates. And so that'll make the reinforced. Again, it works just like the other storage crates over here, except for if a creeper comes by, or if you're by TNT, or whatever happens, you're in the end and the dragon explodes stuff, whatever it is, or the wither explodes stuff, it will not get rid of this. So that's the nice thing about those. Okay, next we're going to need reinforced blast bricks. And to make these, you're going to use the regular blast brick with a steel plate. And again, you're going to need, let's see, it's 27. You need 27. I had to think for a minute. You need 27 of these total to make what we're going to do. All right, now we're also going to need some iron sheet metal, which is 4 iron plates in the cross pattern. Then we're going to need an external heater. You're probably going to want to make multiples of these because we're going to need 1 for each of the blast furnace preheaters, and you want 2 of those. So I suggest making 3 of these, but that's completely up to you. So for this, we're going to need the copper coil block, 3 copper ingots, 4 iron ingots, and a piece of redstone dust. Now we're going to need that along with 7 of the iron sheet metals to make the blast furnace preheater, and we're going to want 2 of these. And then you can also use the iron sheet metal, 3 of the slabs, which you make them like you do normal slabs, only with iron sheet metal, and 5 of the iron sheet metals, and that's going to make us a metal barrel. Now let's go see what some of this stuff does. First of all, metal barrel. Real simple, you set it down, it's a barrel. But you can connect them on top of each other. If you have an engineer's hammer, you can change what it's doing. So as you look at it, the blue dot means it's fluid input. If you change it, it's fluid output, which is the orange. Or if it's nothing, just the gray, it will have nothing. But for this purpose, in order for these barrels to connect, we want it to stay that way, which it automatically does if you put them right on top of each other. Okay, so that's what that is for. Now, this is our furnace that we made before, right? Our coal coke oven, excuse me. This one you can automate by just using hoppers. So you can take a hopper and put it in the front, and here I have coal and buckets in it. So it automatically pulls whatever it needs. So for instance, if I pulled out all the buckets, it'll automatically, it knows where to put them. If I pull out all the coal, it automatically knows where it goes and puts it in its proper space. So that's pretty cool. You just have to keep checking here. Now, to pull out from it, you put a hopper at the bottom and it'll automatically pull everything out. So I've had this running for a while, so we've got quite a few buckets of creosote, but we have some coal too. Now, here is where these barrels come in handy. Because if you look at it, the barrels with a bucket in your hand, even if it has something in it, it'll tell you if there's anything in the barrels. Right now they're empty, but if I add creosote oil, it'll tell you how much is in here. Now these two will still show empty because it'll fill up this bottom one first. But if I keep filling this up, whoops, then it will keep going. And so this one is full and this one has 1,000. So it'll keep telling you as you put stuff in it. Let's get rid of this. There we go. So this is how it's really easy to automate this one. This one, however, though, if you see, I put a hopper here. There's nothing here. So it should go in there. But this one doesn't work that way. Including when put this here, it should pull out, you know, pull out our steel ingots and our slag. But no, this one doesn't do that. So this one is real easy to automate from the beginning. This other one, however, is where those the reinforced bricks come in. So you put these together just like we did when we made the other one. It's 3 by 3 and 3 tall. There's no hollow in the middle or anything. The only difference is you're going to put a hopper on top. And then just like with the other one, you right click it with your hammer and voila. This is the improved blast furnace. Now these on the side, these are the preheaters that I said you should make. So if you set one down, if you set it down the right way, it'll automatically connect. However, if you set it just like this and you need to turn it without picking it up, just take your hammer and it'll automatically turn. Once it's connected like this, it'll show this connection, then it is a proper connection. Now this allows you to input from here, well, output from here, and from the top, you can put in. So I already have it set up here. And these preheaters need power, which is why it's connected to power. I even have a little creative capacitor, which of course you can only get in creative, but I just wanted to show you. So if you click on these, it does nothing. There is no inventory to click on or anything. But if you click on here, it'll say preheaters left and right. So it shows that they're heated and working. So this speeds up the process of what you're doing. And again, the recipes are the same. It's just block of iron for a block of steel and iron ingots for steel ingots. With the block, you get 9 slag, and with the ingot, you get 1 slag. So it is 1 to 1. It doesn't matter whether you're doing a block or steel. So this part doesn't matter. So it would just matter whether you want to do blocks at a time or ingots at a time. So up at the top, like for instance, I have a hopper here with the coal. Remember, it has to be the coal coke, not the regular coal. So I have blocks of coal coke and blocks of iron. So when it processes one, it'll automatically put some back where it needs to go. Again, it automatically knows where to put everything, so we don't have to worry about that part. Okay, now to the front here, when it's done processing something, this is where the steel will come out. Now this one's a little different because back here is where it puts your byproduct, in this case, slag. Well, in any case. So your slag goes to the back. Now, later on, you can do other stuff with it too, but right now we're just going to use chest because, I mean, it's not going to be that fast, and so you're not going to burn through it that fast. But that is how you do that. And so that makes things a little bit easier. So then you can have this continuously going. And if you're anything like me, I always forget to come put stuff in it. All right, so let's take a look at some of the other stuff. So here I am using the medium voltage cables and connectors. You use them just like you do the low voltage that we did before, but the only difference is they actually run through more, they allow more power to run through them. So for instance, if we look at the, over here, if we look over here, out of 8,000 flux. And let's see, does it say here? Yes, 2.147 Gs of flux. That's quite a bit, but that's the creative capacitor. Now here is one of the other capacitors, and so if we look at these, this is the, let me make sure. Yeah, this is the medium. I did put out the high, but we won't go over that one until next time. So the medium one stores 1 million flux in it, which is pretty awesome. So a lot of it, quite a bit higher. Now, you may think that you have to change all your wires and everything out, but you actually don't. Instead, what you could do, like if you need more power, so for instance, this is running 1024 flux. But that's because these are the medium ones I have on here. So it's the medium connector and the medium relay. So they are going to here. And then I have the transformer here. So this one, when you make the transformer, remember this one is a low voltage and this one is a medium voltage. So that's why the wires are different colored. Everything that I connected on the tutorial that we did with power is still there, but I connected it to the low voltage side here. And then in order to connect it to stuff that needs medium voltage, I just connected it here, and this power is running all medium voltage. So I can still have my other power sources until I upgrade them and all, but now I connect to medium ones also, which is why the transformer comes in really handy. Now here is the heater that we did, the external heater. And so this one is pretty cool because if you connect power to it, so I have the medium power going to it, and you have anything here in your furnaces. Let me grab out some ores because while I was setting it up, it cooked everything I had. So let's just grab out, say, gold and iron. And it's anything you cook in the furnace. It's not just... It's not just ores. Any kind of food, you know, anything you can cook in your furnace, you can do this with. But as you can see, I'm not using any coal. Instead, this external heater is powering the furnaces. So it's using the heat to light them and keep them going versus using coal. A lot of times we have a lot of coal, but with this process, you tend to go through a lot of coal, and so sometimes you may not have enough, or you know, you may just have so much power that it's just easier to have stuff going through the furnaces. And that's where this comes in handy, and it is fabulous. So even if I put one up here, put some iron in there, because it is still connected, it's still going to burn off of it. Let's do it again. There you go. So look at that. We have 4 of them running together. Man, they just really want to do the weather today, don't they? But you can have 4 of these furnaces. I mean, you could do more too, because you could go down one. So you could do that also. You have to have one side where you have the power connected, but you could go down one and also put a furnace right down there. As long as it's connected, and then it will work. Just to demonstrate. Whoops. There we go. So as long as it's connected, as long as it's getting enough power, it will do all 5 furnaces at once, which is pretty awesome, especially if you're waiting on something to process. All right, I think we have gone over everything. One thing I did not cover last time, which is pretty important, and I kind of forgot. So if you have connections running, but you need to disconnect one thing, instead of, you know, like with this, if I had wire connected, instead of knocking it off and disconnecting it that way, you can take your wire cutters and click on whatever you want to disconnect. It'll keep that there, but it'll give you the wire back. Then if I needed to, I could just reconnect it. Easy peasy. And that works on all the different kinds of wires. Whatever you need to disconnect, reconnect, including if you're upgrading to like low voltage to medium or high voltage, you could do that also. All right, well, we're still not done with immersive engineering because we have to go over high voltage stuff and all that. But then there's also machines and all kinds of other stuff. But that is going to be it for this one. I'm trying to keep it in bite-sized pieces, so that way it's not too much information for you all at once. Plus, if you just want to see a certain part of the mod, it makes it a little bit easier for you to digest all the information. All right, but if you have any questions or comments, definitely let me know. I will help out whenever I can, and if I don't know the answer, I will try to help you find it out. All right, I appreciate you guys as always. Thanks so much for being here. Until next time, this Lava Temptress. Don't get burned. Bye!